Welcome to the new segment of the grade 7th. We are discussing history in this fourth chapter, the Mughal Empire. Yes, so in this Mughal Empire, we are um, talking about the great Mughal emperors. Yes, their life and their campaigns, major campaigns and events. Two important emperors we are discussed, that is Babur and Humayun. Now next, the very famous ruler, king or emperor of a Mughal empire, that is Akbar. Yes, so his period was 1556 to 1605. Akbar the Great. His full name, uh, that is Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar. He was born in Amarkot, and at when he was born, his father was suddenly uh, died in 1556. So hardly Akbar was he was a just 13 years old young boy, and he was became a ancestor of that time in 1556. So he was the greatest ruler in the Mughal dynasty, and he in his period, he in Akbar's period, and in Akbar's period, it is a golden year of Mughals, and that's why he is known as Akbar the Great. So, in Akbar's life, the one of the guardian, as well as strength holder, as well as admire, yeah, his uh, admire or the guidance, that is uh, uh, Bairam Khan. He was given all the knowledge of doing a work in his dynasty. And when he was assumed a power by Akbar, his first, uh, that is, he was first battle, that is, second battle of the Panipat in 1560, and in that, unfortunately, he lost his um, admire person, that is Bairam Khan, and he is in year of 1561. He was conquered Malwa, and in your textbook it is not there in 1561. Here they are given from 1556 to 1570, that is independent ruler, that is Bairam Khan, already I told. And so he was done a campaign, and he defeated Suri dynasty and Afghans, and he conquered the Malwa in 1561 and Gaundavana in 1564, and he's taken his half brother, he's a relevant of his half brother Mir Qasim and Uzaybags in 1568. He is 50 1568, he's conquered Ranthambore, and as well as he defeated Rana Uday Singh, and they lost about Chittor, okay, and seized Ranthambore in 1568. And in 1570 to 1585, so the military campaigns in this period, he was attacked on Gujarat, and as well as eastern Bihar, Bengal, Odisha. These places are captured by Akbar and his commanders. Next, in 1576, yes, Akbar fought in a battle of Haldighat. It is a very important, the Haldighat. In this, Rana Pratap as well as his son Rana Uday Singh of Mewar, they are the fought, and Akbar was controlled Ahmednagar, uh, and that is the great fight of Battle of Haldi Ghat. So it is a place. So that's why it is the Haldi Ghat, they are the called. And in 1585 to 1605, this period, the campaigns of launched in the northwest, Kandar, Kandhar, and the seas of uh, in these places, that is Kashmir, and the also Kabul. In this time, he lost his the half brother, that is Amir Qasim, and his Akbar campaigned in the Deccan part as well as Birar and Khandesh, and the some part of the Ahmednagar. These are the places he was captured. Yes, and he was became a great ruler. And after the death of Akbar, after the death of the Akbar, his elder son Jahangir, okay, the elder son Jahangir. So Akbar was died in age of 63 in 1605. That is a serious illness. It is a major thing of his death. His elder son Jahangir, he is known as the Prince Salim also. He was accessed, or he's given a throne after the death of the Akbar, that is in 1605. And he was Jahangir, he was known as well as very disciplined for to the very famous Jahangir. He was a famous for to the justice, the giving a justice in a equally for to the each persons. So that's why the Jahangir means a ruler of the world. So what was the conquers, what was the campaigns of Jahangir? So Jahangir tried to consolidated the empire of in his hand. So first, the major challenge of his life, that is uh, the relevance, that is Kushar's relevance. Then he was successfully crushed these hands of and uh, he's seized some places of the Awadh and Bengal. And Jahangir, he's get a credit for the long standing uh, in the deflect between the Mewar and as well as Mughals. And he defeated a ruler, Rana Amar Singh. He was a very strong ruler to compare to the Jahangir. And he was controlled, as well as he was allowed the territories, and the only he was considered the royalty of Mughals. And in his life, in 1605 to 1627, um, some campaigns the against mm, he was not that much uh, controlled the campaigns, but even though his life during his period, he was given a trading opportunity for to the others, as well as some important justice policies he has done. And his campaigns against Sikhs, as well as Ahoms and Ahmadnagar. And after his the Prince Khurram, as well as his failure, the emperor Shah Jahan, the rebel into the last years because of the uh, internal what disputes are the started for to get a crown of a Mughal. And Noor Jahan, that is Jahangir's wife. Yes, so she's the very important because she's known as a light of the world. That is a Noor Jahan, and, and she made some policies we can see in your textbook also. I think um, it is. Um, so some policies of Noor Jahan, they are introduced because of she made. Uh, in coming days, we are learning about that in administration part, that how the Noor Jahan given so much importance about her giving justice. Next, Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan, um, Shah Jahan, his period was 1627 to 1658. So after death of Jahangir, Shah Jahan was became because he was mm, and he was a talented uh, ruler the compared to the Khurram. Okay, so in 1627, it was family disputes. They started in Shah Jahan period, and he was the uh, his Mughals campaigns. It was continued by the Shah Jahan, that is under in the Deccan under Shah Jahan, and Afghan noble, that is Khan Jahan Lodi, that he was a rebel, and he was defeated. Campaigning are the launched to the against the Ahmad Nagar and Bundels, and he was seized some part of the northwest part of and that is Uzaibags, and in 1632, in 1632 he was finally taken his hand, that is Bijapur. In 1657, 1658, he was a conflict, that is in a very successfully by Shah Jahan's sons, Aurangzeb, and his three brothers, including Dara, and as well as he were killed. They are the killed, and Shah Jahan was imprisoned. He was imprisoned by his own son, and mm, uh, in Agra. And when we are talking about Shah Jahan, He was given a more importance for to the European traders as well as some activities which is under Shah Jahan has done. And Shah Jahan was died in 1666 because of in a, he is prisoned. He was imprisoned in Agra fort, and he was died in Agra fort only. And after him, another great king of Mughals, uh, Aurangzeb. His period was 1658 to 1707. So he also is known as Alamgir. The Aurangzeb also is known as another name, that is Alamgir. So he totally ruled 49 years. It is a very long period. He was ruled a Mughals, and he reached a very largest seas covering uh, the almost all 90% of India. In the northeast, Ahoms were defeated in 1663 and rebels against in 1680s. And the Aurangzeb campaigned in the northwest against the Yusufis. Yes, so and six these temporarily successful, but these in these huge army, which those are Sikh campaign or the community, they are the started the rebelling against the Mughals. And Rathods, Rajputs, Mewar, so their rebellions, the campaigns against the Marathas. Here, when we are talking about the Marathas, Shivaji, he was a very successful and very strong uh, king of a Maratha. And in that campaigns, he seized, or he was prisoned uh, Shivaji, and but Shivaji was escaped from Agra and declared himself as an independent king. And it was a very great challenge for to the Aurangzeb. And the Prince Akbar, the rebelled and against the Aurangzeb, and received support from to the Marathas and Deccan Sultan, and he was finally failed to uh, failed to the take his some parts of uh, which was taken by Marathas. And after the Akbar's, the Aurangzeb was the very strong personality. In he was the taken the army against the Deccan Sultans, that is Bijapur's. He was Bijapur's annexed in 1685, and Golconda in 1687. In from 1698 to Aurangzeb, he was managed all campaigns against the main Marathas, and he started about the warfares. The small campaigns are the started to against the Marathas and Sikh communities in northern India. And here, not only the Marathas and Sikhs, Jats, another one community, and Santamanis, another one communities from to the northeastern part. And in the northeastern part, in the northeastern part, the Ahoms and in the Deccan, the Marathas. And after the death of Aurangzeb, yes, after the death of the Aurangzeb, his successor are very weak. They are unable to control and um, manage the whole Mughal dynasty. So who are the came after the Aurangzeb? They were very weak into the compared to make their dynasty and empire to hold their hand. So these are the six great rulers of our Mughal emperors who are established, as well as they are made very strong uh, empire in India. So on tomorrow again we are continuing, that is Mughal tradition uh, of a succession. For the reference, you can refer NCRT 7th grade textbook. Thank you.